For so many years, I always knew that I wanted to be a mom, and it didn't look like I thought it would at the beginning. I was pretty overwhelmed because when we first started talking about growing our family, we had some infertility issues.
And so it's been a journey of struggles through infertility, but we have been introduced through a mutual friend to fostering, and we went and met with Upbring, and honestly, it was something that we had never really considered.
But it was like almost immediate. As soon as we learned about the need, it was clear as day that this is what we were meant to do. And we knew that we wanted to foster any child that was in need. We also had in our heart that we wanted to adopt.
That led us on a path to Nathan, who we came to our home on his 5th birthday as a foster kid, and then we had him for a year and adopted him on his 6th birthday.
And I just remember feeling at so much peace about our future together as a family.
I grew up with my mom. She treated me in a way that parents don't typically treat their kids. I grew up thinking that I didn't have any friends, that no one loved me, and those were just things she would tell me on a daily basis. That's where all the conflict, I think, really started. And I started running away from home, and my mom would put me into hospitals, and I would run away, and then I'd be put in more hospitals, I'd get out and run away again. And my mom kind of like lashed out at me and isolated me more. And eventually, Child Protective Services had to remove custody from my mom and take custody over me because I was hurting myself. I was running away. I was putting myself in really bad physical situations. And finally, I tried to kill myself on December 9th, 2012. And they felt that it'd be best to put me in a safe place like a hospital, a residential treatment center. So they bounced me around a couple of those. I was there through Christmas, so I saw girls coming and going and visiting with their families on that day and Christmas Eve, but I wasn't allowed to talk to anyone. I felt very alone. I felt very isolated. And then I want to say it was right before New Year's that I got accepted into an Upbring facility.
So when I was little, my dad owned a few pizza shops around San Antonio, and he sold a lot of illegal things out of them, and so did my mom. She had a lot of women around all of the time, and I didn't really know why, but she later let me know that she was like pimping them. That was her job. That's how we had so much money. My dad, he got deported back to Egypt when I was 3 years old, and my mother didn't really know how to handle that, so she started self-medicating with a lot of narcotics and a lot of illegal drugs. And so I didn't have a mom. That's what it felt like growing up. When I turned 13, my best friend's mom was able to call CPS, and I got sent to a shelter for about 4 weeks until my best friend's parents were able to pick me up and foster me until I graduated high school.
The home that he was in prior to coming to us, there was just a lot of neglect. There was no food, no running water at one point, a lot of physical abuse, and it was frankly just not an environment that a young child deserves to grow up in. I remember once, I can't remember what grade it is, but I remember he said, I wish I hadn't been through that as a child so that I could be as smart as other kids. And I know that, it's because I wasn't with y'all all the time. And so that was a very challenging moment for us, a very emotional moment for us. But now he's as smart as he can be. He's one of the top in his class in math. He's reading on his grade level. That's been, a really, really rewarding journey for us. There were also challenges along the way. So, when we talk about Upbring, what we always tell people is so great about it is the caseworkers that you work with, because they are in your homes a lot. And so it's important to have a really good relationship with them.
They were knowledgeable about any situation, and you can trust them, and that is always how we felt.
I had a really hard time seeing who I was and seeing a future for myself. I don't even want to say a future for myself. Some of the girls I could see, they had trouble seeing themselves going to college or, finding a family. And I just couldn't see myself getting through the day. Like, I couldn't see tomorrow. After some time and consistencies and a lot of support from the staff, I finally warmed up and stopped focusing so much on what was going wrong in my life and what could be going right. And just really surrounding myself with a lot of other good influences that were on the campus. So I worked on my treatment, I worked on bettering myself, and eventually was released, where I finished off middle school and went ahead onto high school.
Once I started finishing high school, I got introduced to Stephanie, which is my case manager of BeREAL at Upbring. She helped me transition out of foster care into college, and she took me through the whole interview process of how Upbring and BeREAL work and how they could assist me in my goals. BeREAL pays for my rent, they pay for my furniture, my utilities, they pay for a lot of things that help me and assist me to focus on my schoolwork and doing things necessary to make my future as great as it can be.
Nathan's confidence has shifted so much since he came to us as a foster child until now. And so just to see him be proud of the family that he is in, to see him being a leader, to see him making friends, and to see the answers to my prayers is unexplainable.
Our home is forever changed. Our home is forever brighter and louder, that's for sure. But, in the end, like we always say, we're the ones that are truly blessed in the situation.
BeREAL helped me transition from foster care into the real world. It was the one thing I needed. Like, I wouldn't have been able to go to college and pursue my dreams, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without the help of BeREAL and Upbring. And now I'm just excited for where my life is gonna go from here.
I don't take anything for granted that I'm given at this point. Not my education, not my home, not my job. I just look forward to tomorrow. And now I feel like I can do anything. And I know that is such a cliche, but it's so true. There are so many things that I've done up to this point in my life that I never even fathomed possible for myself. And now I think, if I just dream it and put in the work for it, I can do it.